So I'm going to drop a hard fact on you right now, and that is that 40% of leadership transitions fail within the first 18 months. Mind-blowing, right? Not because these leaders lack experience or expertise, but because they approach these first critical 90 days all wrong. Look, if you're stepping into a new senior role, you're probably feeling a mix of excitement and what have I gotten myself into, right? I mean, it's exciting and it's scary. And it's very critical that you approach this with the right attitude and with the right plan. So here's the thing. These next 90 days will make or break your success. I'm Terry McDougall, and today I'm giving you the exact blueprint that separates the leaders who thrive from those who barely survive or even wash out. So what I'm about to share isn't just theory. It's a proven framework that helped many of my clients go from overwhelmed to transformational leader in just 3 months. And the best part, you can implement this plan starting today. So before we dive into the tactical steps, let's address the most critical element that 90% of new leaders get wrong, and it is your mindset. Here's the truth. The moment that you accept the new role, you need to mentally promote yourself. You're not just getting a new title, you're becoming a completely different leader with different objectives than you had when you were in your last role. So let me share a quick story about Tracy, a senior director who stepped into a VP role. Like many leaders, she kept operating from her old playbook. I mean, it had worked for her in the past, but she just wasn't recognizing that as things transitioned, that she needed to transition with it. So she was diving into those detailed day-to-day operations like she'd always done in the past. She was trying to prove herself through hands-on work because basically that was her comfort zone. 3 months in, she was drowning in tactical details while strategic opportunities just slipped right by. And here's the mindset shift that changed everything. You're no longer just a capable executor when you move into leadership. You're now the vision setter. You're the strategic architect. You're the leader. This means letting go of being that technical expert and embracing your new role as the enabler of your team's success. So the first mental shift is accepting that your job isn't to have all the answers. It's to ask the right questions. The second is understanding that your success now depends on your ability to develop others, not just on your own personal capabilities. And third is recognizing that maintaining perspective and balance isn't just a nice to have, it is a critical factor in your sustained success. So let's dive into your first 30 days. This is where you lay the groundwork for everything that follows. Think of it like building a house. You need a rock-solid foundation before you start building the walls and the roof and all of that. Your first mission is to get up that learning curve as fast as you can. And I'm talking about understanding every aspect of your new environment. Here's exactly what you need to do. First, become a knowledge sponge. Ask your manager and key stakeholders what success looks like in that first 90 days. Learn everything that you can about the company, about the culture, about the goals, about the challenges, about the strengths and maybe developmental gaps on your team. Absorb all the information that is available to you. And by the way, you can and should start doing this before your first day so you can hit the ground running on day one. Second, diagnose your situation. Review existing strategy documents, annual roadmaps, and objectives. Understand, are you dealing with a turnaround? Are you dealing with a startup? Or are you dealing with a sustaining success model? Each one of these is going to require a different type of leadership, and it's really important that you understand what you're dealing with from day one. Understanding current OKRs is crucial. It gives you the insight into the direction that the different teams are heading. Third, build critical relationships. Meet with your peers, your team members, and anyone that you'll be working with regularity. Have genuine conversations to understand both their roles and who they are as people. Ask questions that help you grasp the bigger picture. Now, here's a pro tip from my experience. While you want to listen more than you talk in these first 30 days, come prepared with a light agenda for these initial meetings. It shows respect for people's time and it helps the conversations flow more naturally. Okay, now we're going to talk about the 60-day acceleration. Now that you've built your foundation in the first 30 days, let's accelerate in days 30 through 60, where you'll start implementing your strategic vision. This is where the real leadership transformation happens. During this phase, your focus shifts from observation to action. Here's exactly what successful senior leaders do during days 30 through 60. First, strengthen your leadership influence. Start implementing those strategic goals you identified in the first 30 days. Take the insights you've gathered and begin making calculated adjustments to align your team with your company's objectives. Remember, you're not just managing anymore, you're leading strategic initiatives and you're going to be judged on the impact that you and your team have. Second, build those cross-functional relationships. Meet with leaders from other departments to understand how your team's work impacts theirs and vice versa. This isn't just networking, this is about creating the collaborative partnerships that you'll depend on to drive real change going forward. Schedule regular check-ins with key stakeholders to ensure alignment and to share progress. Third, start giving constructive feedback that drives growth. This is where you begin shaping your team's performance. Have one-on-one meetings focused on development, not just on status updates. Show your team you're invested in their success while maintaining clear performance expectations. So here's a pro tip that separates great leaders from the good ones. While you're driving these changes, keep checking in on your early supporters. They were your first allies, and their continued backing will help you maintain the momentum that you need as you go through this acceleration plan. Okay, now we're getting into the 90-day mastery. By day 60, you should be hitting your stride. Now let's talk about days 60 through 90, where you cement your leadership and you set the stage for long-term success. This is where good leaders become great ones. First, it's time to evaluate your progress. Look at those early goals that you set. What's working? What needs adjustment? Don't be afraid to course correct. Remember that strong leaders admit when something isn't working and they quickly pivot accordingly. This shows your team that you value results over ego. Second, focus on building sustainable systems. You're not just leading for the next quarter, you're creating foundations for long-term success over many, many quarters. Document your processes, establish regular feedback loops, and create clear communications channels with your team and with those key stakeholders that you will continue to work with. This is about making your leadership scalable. Third, and this is critical, take care of yourself. This is a very stressful time when you're going through this transition. There's a lot riding on the success, and it's very easy to ignore your own needs and your own health. Many leaders burn out around this time because they forget about work-life harmony. Schedule regular breaks, make sure that you're eating and drinking with regularity, maintain your exercise routine, and keep those mentor relationships active. You're going to need that feedback as you go through this. Your team needs you operating at peak performance, not running on empty. So one of my clients, a new SVP, was working 60 plus hours per week trying to prove herself. But by implementing these systems and creating healthy boundaries, she not only improved her team's performance, but she also reclaimed her weekends. That gave her time to recharge her batteries. And that's critical. That's the kind of sustainable leadership we're aiming for. And it also is a great model for your team. So there you have it, your blueprint for crushing those first 90 days in your new leadership role. But here's the truth about leadership transitions. Even with the perfect blueprint, blind spots can derail your success. The difference between good leaders and exceptional ones isn't avoiding transition challenges. It's about having the right guidance to navigate them effectively. So you've got two choices right now. You can take what you've learned today and try to implement it on your own, and I'm sure you'll make progress. But if you want to go even further with more ease, you can fast track your transition success with expert guidance. I've helped countless senior leaders master their transitions from directors to VPs, from executive roles into the C-suite, and everything in between. Through my executive coaching program, I'll help you to create your customized 90-day transition plan, navigate organizational politics with confidence, which that's not easy, and build high-performing teams faster, all while achieving more while working less. If you're ready to turn your leadership transition into a breakthrough opportunity, here's what I want you to do right now. Click on the link below to schedule a free leadership strategy session with me. During this focused conversation, I'll help you to identify your specific transition challenges, create your customized leadership framework, and map out your path to sustained success. And don't wait too long to make this decision. Every day that you navigate this transition alone is another day of untapped potential for you and your team. This is Terry McDougall, and I'm here to help you transform your leadership transition into your greatest opportunity for growth. Click on that link below, and let's begin your transformation journey today.